Welcome back. This lesson is about the layer that makes a throwaway pooled desktop feel like it belongs to the user, FSLogix. We'll cover the two container types, the make or break choice between VHDLocations and Cloud Cache, how to wire Azure Files up with Microsoft Entra Kerberos for cloud-only session hosts, sizing and exclusions, and how to actually read an FSLogix failure when a profile won't attach. FSLogix gives you two container types. Profile container is the main one, holding the entire user profile including the registry hive. Office container, or ODFC, is optional and narrower. It isolates just the Outlook cache and OneDrive data into a second virtual disk. Most modern deployments only need a profile container. Reach for ODFC only when you have a specific reason to manage Office data separately. This is the decision every architect has to make explicitly. VHDLocations and Cloud Cache are mutually exclusive. You configure one or the other, never both. VHDLocations is a simple ordered list of storage paths. Cloud Cache is a different engine that asynchronously replicates the profile across up to 4 locations and fails sessions over automatically. Cloud Cache buys you resilience but costs you complexity and local cache disk on every session host. Here's the rule of thumb. If platform-level redundancy like Azure Files zone redundant storage already covers your resilience requirement within one region, stick with VHDLocations. It's simpler to operate. If you need cross-region failover or you're replicating across different storage providers entirely, that's what Cloud Cache is built for. If your session hosts are Microsoft Entra-joined only, with no domain controller in sight, Microsoft Entra Kerberos is what makes Azure Files work. Enable it on the storage account under File Shares, Identity-Based Access. Entra ID then issues the Kerberos ticket your hosts need at sign-in. You still need one machine with AD line of sight once, to grant the RBAC role and NTFS permissions on the share itself. Flag this one now. An April 2026 Windows Server update changes the default Kerberos encryption type from RC4 to AES-SHA1. Any file share hosting FSLogix containers that hasn't already been upgraded to AES-SHA1 risks access failures once that update lands on your session hosts. This is squarely a proactive fix, not something to discover during an outage. Always use dynamically expanding disks so you only pay for what's actually used. Set a generous ceiling on size. 30 GB is a common starting point. Exclude noisy, regenerable folders like browser caches and temp directories to keep growth under control. And keep your storage share in the same Azure region as your session hosts to minimize latency. When a profile won't attach, FSLogix leaves you 3 values: a status code, a reason code, and, critically, a Windows error code, because these come from real Windows system error codes, not something FSLogix invented. The one you'll see most often in the field is error 0x00000020, sharing violation, meaning the file is already open somewhere else. Always start by reading the profile log for that underlying Windows error before you touch permissions. The locked VHDX is the classic FSLogix support call. A sharing violation means another process, almost always another session for that same user, still has the file open. Your first move is checking whether the user has an active session elsewhere in the host pool. Your second move is checking for a stale lock left behind by a session that crashed instead of logging off cleanly. Permissions are rarely the real cause of this particular error. One last practical point. FSLogix has to run before any user profile even starts loading, so it's installed per machine, baked into your golden image, not deployed per user. Every new session host that comes from that image is FSLogix ready from first boot, which avoids an entire category of inconsistent configuration bugs. Next lesson, we move from storing the profile to delivering the applications inside it, app attach.